Information tonight in the case surrounding a deadly crash that killed the North Dakota Sheriff's deputy. Prosecutors say they are still preparing to go to trial with Ian Cramer. However, they are meeting with the family of Deputy Paul Martin to discuss potential settlement proposals. Cramer, the son of North Dakota U.S. Senator Kevin Cramer, is accused of leading officers on a high-speed chase from Bismarck into Mercer County, where he ran his car into a patrol vehicle, which then hit and killed Martin. The trial is scheduled to begin September 24th if a settlement is not reached ahead of time. Defense attorney Kevin McCabe also says he has not yet received Cramer's mental health evaluation, which could impact the trial's timeline.